It's time to break down Pokémon Journeys. Yo, what's up everyone? TreyMan1 here, and welcome to a very interesting discussion video today where I'll be talking about Pokémon Journeys. Yes, I know I do that reviewing the series every week, but I've really been enjoying the series so far. We're currently 31 episodes in, and now I just want to take the time and talk about all the pros and cons that I have for the series so far and how I believe it will be impacted in the future. So far, I'm really loving the series. If you aren't watching the series, I highly recommend you check it out. It's really amazing. But let's go ahead and get into this list. Let's start off with some pros, and that's being our boy Ash Ketchum. Ash in this series is following Pokemon Sun and Moon, where he's finally won a Pokemon League and became a champion. Something that we all been waiting for, and we always wondered, what's next? As we know, this series, Ash is taking on the Pokemon World Championship, which is an even bigger league filled with many trainers across the entire world to see who's the #1 best trainer in the world. I really love Ash's goal in this series. They basically rebirthed this character, gave him something new, because for 20 years, we've been with this one character. How could you make him any better? But this series has. For one, he's a very competent trainer. Each and every one of his battles, he's been doing amazing. And we really saw that in episode 7 in the Hoenn episode, where he took on the Battle Frontier and won through the whole thing without losing a single Pokemon. Our boy Ash is a true champion in this series, and I'm really loving it. Also, his captures, every capture that he catches has been a complete surprise. Who expected Dragonite? Not me. Gengar, okay, that's amazing. Then freaking Riolu, something that a lot of people want Ash to get, and Farfetch, that's just a straight curveball. Ash in the series is so amazing. I'm loving his growth. I have no complaints about our character, and I'm ready to see more of his growth. The next big pro is this series' continuity. This series is a nice payoff for old and new fans. Normally, Pokemon lately hasn't really been focused too much on continuity. X and Y had little to no continuity. Sun and Moon had continuity, but it was only to the original series. But this time around, we got characters like Professor Elm, Lance, Karina, and the announcement that many more old characters will be returning in this series. So right off the bat, we already get to see so many amazing characters. Also, how this series implements flashbacks into the series. It's really making Ash just this ultimate great character. Flashing back to the first moment when he met Pikachu, when he saw Ho for the first time. They've been doing some great flashbacks in this series, and the continuity has been amazing. It's really making Ash's previous journeys come back in this series, and it's so perfect because he's entering the World Championship. It really does seem like this is going to be Ash's big final goal, which, if that's the case, then, I'll be happy if he wins the World Championship and becomes World Champion. They may come up with something new for our character, but as for right now, the continuity has been great. Speaking of continuity, can we just talk about the attention and detail that this series has? Right off the bat, we're seeing places that we haven't seen in the anime that's from the games. For example, the Hoenn Battle Frontier, for crying out loud. Desert Resort, the resort area. And we'll probably see many more places. Who knows, even the Battle Tree. I'm loving that they're actually showing off these game locations in the anime finally. And it's so nice and rewarding to see this type of stuff. Like, this is like a rewarding series for all fans of Pokemon. If you're an old time fan and you used to watch the original series up to now, very rewarding for you and for the game players as well, seeing that these locations from the games are making an appearance. Journeys has completely changed the whole series, and it's not really following the games like it used to, but it's telling its own story, which I really love the most. And also, it's so nice to see that they're even having continuity with areas that used to appear before. For example, the same area in Vermilion City in Best Wishes appeared here. Once again, this Pokemon Center in the Hoenn region, right here. It's the same areas. They're upgraded, and it's just so amazing. The attention to detail is spot on. One more pro I want to mention. No, this isn't the final pro. I will get back to more pros later on, but I actually want to discuss some of the cons as it relates to what I'm about to say. Is Ash and Go's development, where basically Go started out as this trainer. He was really antisocial. I discussed this in my Go video more in detail. You can check that out in the cards, iCard, in card, and in the description down below. But basically, Go was this character who, you know, he didn't know about making friends, and he's grown to become such a great trainer with Ash, and also has learned stuff like caring about his Pokemon's feeling first and more about battling. It's a really nice development how Ash is mentoring Go, and I'm loving the whole vibe. But unfortunately, it's time to talk about some cons. The first con that I want to discuss is Go's Pokemon. So far, Go has caught well over 50 Pokemon in the series, and we're 31 episodes in, which is amazing because his goal is to catch Mew. That's the good part. The only issue is, with him catching all these Pokemon, we're not having good times to develop him. The only real time we get to see Go's Pokemon for real is in episode 23, the big return episode, mind you, where we get to see all the Pokemon in the lab just doing their normal things. But the issue is, like, yeah, that's cool to see that, but that's like the only real time we get to see them. We need more episodes focused on the Pokemon because we're not really growing as close of a bond to Go's Pokemon as we would with Ash's. Speaking of which, do any of y'all remember Go called Execute? Because it only appeared once. And speaking of Ash's Pokemon, while I did say I'm loving how surprising and amazing each catch has been, the issue is that they're not developing Ash's Pokemon like they should be. Now, this series follows a similar structure to Sun and Moon, where Ash is staying in one location and travels to multiple places, kind of like how in Sun and Moon, where he stayed at Kukui's house, but traveled to multiple places in the Alola region. The difference with Sun and Moon in this series, though, is that he actually took his Pokemon with him. Like the Ulu Ulu arc, he took all his Pokemon, actually to all the region arcs, and they got their development and battle time. So far, this series only really been focusing on Pikachu and Riolu, with them two being the only ones traveling. And even, you know, Pikachu's getting jealous of Riolu, which Riolu's been getting quite a bit of development. Like, Farfetch hasn't really done much. Well, even though Farfetch just caught, so I would excuse Farfetch for now. But Dragonite and Gengar. Dragonite's been in one battle within the past 20 episodes it's been caught. And Gengar's been in two. But in Karina's fight, it got destroyed. And, you know, those Pokemon really need to get some development. Yes, it's true. They are final evolved Pokemon and are stronger than Riolu and Farfetch. But still, they need some more development so that we can grow a closer bond and they can do great in the World Championships. Now, this next thing isn't so much of a con, but it's kind of like in between. And that's Chloe's development. On one hand, you know, I'm really loving her development now, especially where we get to see in the beginning of the series, she didn't want to talk to Ash. She was annoyed by Ash and Go all the time. But here in the past 3 episodes, she's actually eating with them. She even went all out the way to go to Hoenn with them on a journey. So Chloe has grown to liking Ash and Go a lot more. And I feel like she will join the group at one point. But the only thing is, like, it's so weird because, you know, yeah, she doesn't have a goal yet. And that's fine. Like, Serena did that and didn't get her goal into like the 40s. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just she's not appearing as much as she should be, especially if they're trying to build her up to be a companion. She's in the opening following Ash and Go around the world and is in many scenes, so it feels like they want her to be this third companion, but they're not putting in as much effort as they should be to building her. Now, I know, yes, the series is only 30 episodes in, so when we get to a later part in the series, she will probably be more developed and a better character. Last episode really made me like Chloe's up as a character a lot more than I did before, and I'm really looking forward to see where her character goes from here. One more con I want to discuss for now is Gigantomax and Dynamaxx. Now, the first time we saw Dynamaxx was in episode 5, and that was the episode that Scorbunny got caught, but I really didn't like how it was handled there. Now, no, I'm not mad because Snorlax wasn't going on a rampage and attacking, because, you know, that doesn't matter. The issue is how they portrayed it. Like, Ash and Go were like, oh snap, Snorlax is blocking the tracks and stuff, we have to save it. But the issue comes where if Ash and Go weren't here, you know, what would they have done? Like, the wild area is used to Dynamaxing for one, so I'm pretty sure the train had like enough precaution of what to do if like a Snorlax was blocking the tracks or something. I don't know, it's just kind of weird to me how it was made such a big threat, but in reality it probably really wasn't that big. I don't know, that's just my view on it. And not just with Snorlax. The Dynamaxx battles have been very underwhelming. Now, no, I love the battles in this series. They're so amazing. I'll get to that in the next pro section. But every time we get a Dynamaxx battle, other than Leon versus Lance, they've been very underwhelming. Where Pikachu, for one, that's not his battle style. Like, I don't think Pikachu should focus on Gigantamaxing. And with Leon and Rayhan, they hyped this up to be such a great fight. But the Dynamaxx was just 2 moves and that was it. Like, Rayhan got destroyed and he's a Galar trainer, so it's just kind of weird to me how they're handling Gigantamax. I'm hoping that it'll get better as the series progresses. We're back again with some more pros, and I gotta say, these pros I really like the most, and that's that they're focusing on characters past, old and new. For example, Pichu. We didn't need to know Pikachu's backstory. We never really thought about it, but the series went out the way in the first episode and gave us this great backstory episode for Pichu. And Go as well. Go and Chloe. They went out the way and introduced their characters as they were young and just overall gave us a vibe. And, you know, it's a nice comparison to see Go and Chloe now versus when they were younger. It's a real nice change. It really shows us how much their characters need to grow. Where Go was like, oh, I don't need any friends and, you know, I'm a know-it-all. But now Go is like really relying on Ash as a friend. And with Chloe, she used to love Pokemon so much, but now she's so cold and just doesn't like him anymore. She's starting to change now, but still, she has a lot of character growth. And I'm really wondering to see what really caused her not to like Pokemon. The battles in this series have been so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Freaking Ash versus Pisces was amazing. We got to see Gengar in action, Pikachu's the quickness, Leon versus Lance. These were some amazing fights that they're animating. Ash versus Karina. While I didn't like that Ash won that fight, I do agree that's an amazing fight. And, you know, Dragonite and Gengar gave it their all. The animation in this series is spot on. If you want to see some good fights, then I definitely recommend you check the series out, starting with Ash versus Hoji, because that's the big fight that really got me turned on into the series' battles. Now, yeah, there are some times where, you know, we'll get like just small fights where Ash just ranks up quickly, which that's still nice that they're showing him battling to get his rank, but you'll know the big battle episodes. For example, this upcoming Bia one, that's going to be a banger. Now, this last con is a big one, and that's Team Rocket. Sun and Moon did a great job of refreshing Team Rocket. As we know, Team Rocket been through a lot of changes. The original series through Diamond and Pearl were kind of the same Team Rocket, and they got really annoying in Diamond and Pearl, being in every episode. Black and White changed them to make them really serious, which I didn't like the change at first, but when we got to stuff like the Meloetta arc, I loved it. But then afterwards, like in the Declora Islands, when they tried to go back, it just didn't work for me. X and Y actually made Team Rocket pretty good, with Wobbuffet doing amazing things. And they were still kind of like generic Team Rocket. They were bearable at times though. And Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon, I gotta say, was the best Team Rocket. For one, this isn't Team Rocket following Ash. This is Team Rocket doing their own thing, their own missions, and they were actually good with Mimikyu and Marini and the whole Beware thing, like making them have a family. Team Rocket was just so nice. Like, I just love Team Rocket in that series. And every time they did run into Ash, it was just by pure coincidence. This series, for one, we got this new thing called the Rocket Lottery, which I guess you can say that's another con. Where I do like the Rocket Lottery because it also brings some interesting things with Team Rocket, like, oh, who are they going to get today? At the same time, they're not making bonds with their Pokemon, and they can't get true character development like they would in previous series. Another thing is Team Rocket focused episodes. I love the Jessie and Ditto episode, but the only thing that's like holding that back is that Jessie couldn't get the Ditto. It's like, it's the potential's right there for them to get these Pokemon. The Choodle, Morpeko, I guess, but it's still so odd to me how they're not really doing it right. Like, it's just something about Team Rocket. Now, they do still have some funny moments. I do like them more than like Diamond and Pearl Team Rocket because they're funny and they're not appearing every episode. Like, when they appear, it's a nice treat. But at the same time, they're kind of annoying. Like in the recent Chloe episode, it was like there was no reason for them to be there. Hopefully, Team Rocket will get it together at some point and fully become great again. Now, with the pros and cons that I've mentioned, I do gotta say, Journeys is a great series and I recommend you all check it out. Like, there's so many great moments, great laughs, and there's not too many filler because, you know, you can always say it's not a filler because Go caught a Pokemon. But the real thing I want to talk about is the future of this series. Ash is already on a great path, and I don't really have to say too much for him other than I hope he starts to develop his other Pokemon, Dragonite, Gengar, and if he does catch more Pokemon that they get, you know, an equal treatment like Riolu. Hopefully when Riolu evolves into Lucario, Ash will start focusing on the others, but we'll have to wait and see. But for Go's already on a great track in my opinion. I'm liking his growth and development. And with the next episode, we're going to see his past. I feel like that's going to be a critical point in changing Go's character, and we can make him great. Chloe. We need more Chloe time. Like, these last 3 episodes with Chloe have been amazing, and I'm really liking her a part of the group. The only thing is, I wish she would stay, because it seems like the next upcoming titles, she's not really going to be here anymore. And it's like, it kind of sucks that she's only getting like small arcs here and there, or episodes here and there. But hopefully she will fully join the group at one point. The next thing, Galar. Now, yes, I know this series isn't the Galar series, kind of like how every other series has been structured, but I do feel like we need more focus on Galar, because we haven't seen too many Galar Pokemon yet. Like, there's only been like 5 in total, I think, shown, and we're always only going to Winden. There's so many other places that they can show. If they want to show off the whole world and every Pokemon, they're gonna need to go to some more places in Galar. It would be nice if we get an arc, for crying out loud, with Sonia joining the group, teaching them about Galar's history, because they are building up to some plot with Eternatus, The Darkest Day, and Chairman Road, and Sonia would be the perfect character to help out with that. Now, other than this, I think everything else is going pretty great. Ash is doing pretty well in the World Championships, but unfortunately, I do think he needs to lose soon. Possibly to Bia, because it's Riolu versus Grappalite. I know a lot of people probably don't like hearing me say that, but Ash needs to lose, because he's kind of been going too fast. Like, we're only 30 episodes in and he's already in the 2nd rank. And if this is like a 3-year series, he's going to be the Leon way before the 3rd year. So I feel like maybe setting Riolu just down a little bit, especially with it being like hot-headed recently, would be a nice humbling moment. And now it finally gives some time to the other Pokemon like Dragonite and Gengar. But with that being said, these are my thoughts on the pros and cons of Pokemon Journeys and the future. With that being said, in the comment section down below, please let me know, what do you like, dislike, and hope to see in the future about Pokemon Journeys. I'd love to hear. I know this was kind of a long video, but that's just a lot I wanted to get off my chest. And I'm hoping to make another video like this, maybe 30 episodes later, like episode 60, where I said this stuff here, and we can see if some of that stuff becomes true, or if they change any of the pros and cons, and then we'll come back and make another video and see what are the new pros and cons, what they fixed, and what's the future from episode 60 onwards. If y'all would like to see that, please let me know. And thank you all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Trayman1. Peace out.